Ugh. Time to torture myself with another live stream. Goodness me. Noises in here, bananas in chat. Oh, thanks for the support. Yeah, all of that. Right, come on. Time to get hyped up. God, I hate this game. Oh, it's difficult. Right, where is the live button? Where is the go live? Oh! Uh-oh. Oh! April Fools! Oh, I got ya! I got you, did. Oh. 2 days of April Fools, that's the joke, yep. That's the joke right there. I was totally just trolling you a second ago, because it was April yesterday. I'm messing with you, peeps. I'm messing with you, peeps. Yesterday was April Fools. And, if you didn't see the episode over on my channel, make sure you go and check it out, because it was really well received. I loved making it, and a huge thanks to all of my staff for helping me put that together. We recorded it once. I wasn't happy. Well, I say I wasn't happy. The audio wasn't usable, which was my thought. I should have done like a bit of a sound check to begin with, make sure everything was okay. So we had to do it again. So big props to them. They really made that possible. That was a great joke and idea that I had in my mind for a long time, and I was just like, April Fools, and I put it on my thing, and there we go. Joel Keep says, don't worry, X. We like watching you as much as you love doing videos for us. I so thought that was going to be a trolly message then. Joining in on the joke. Where's your build team, X? Is Hamstat? They're in the background. I won't press tab. I don't want to show you that they're on the server. Oh, Rainbow says, love taking apart. Glad you enjoyed it. I changed the thumbnail as well. If you didn't see I changed the thumbnail, I recommend go checking it out. It just kind of dawned on me later on in the day. I was like, I know what would make a better thumbnail than this. So I went over to Nova Skin. Alright, whatever. And I found something appropriate. It wasn't quite what I was going for, but it kind of gets the message across. Did you actually build the clock tower though, says the Mansky. I did not, but I was always going to plan that tower there. So at some point in the season we'll actually modify that build. I think we're going to update the blocks, because we were talking about how we could change some of the materials to make it fit in with False's stuff a little better. And we're going to change it from a clock tower to a kind of open skeletons landing tower. Let's actually hop through. No, I need to get some diamonds, so I need to be in this diamonds. I need to get some rockets, so I'm going to go over to Tango's shop quickly. Yes, and there's a creeper. Watch out for the creepers. So, yeah, right, we got that out of the way. Big thanks to all the peeps with the bananas in chat. Obviously, I wasn't reading that. Oh, just leave me alone, skeletons! Leave me alone. Of course I can't. Of course I can't. Maybe I'll be able to just buy some diamonds right now. Why do I keep saying buy diamonds? Anyway, we got noises in the year. Billman68 resubscribing for 30 months in a row. Let's do it 135790 for 4 months in a row. Wubsanator for 29 months in a row. Thank you for the wonderful support, peeps. As always, I'm appreciating it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sale is apparently still on. That's just the new price, I think. Okay, and then we'll put that in there. That was a bargain, my friends. Then again, you know, the equivalent of 1 rocket on this server is 4. Okay, took us 3 to get flying there. See what I mean? Thomas says, do you guys think there will be one more snapshot, a possible small chance for pre-release tomorrow? Pre-release is on the way. It'll be on the way. I don't think it'll be the next one will be a pre-release, but it'll be sometime soon, won't it? By the way, peeps, I have just been communicating with Python. He's going to build a line that goes through 2 of his towers. So it's going to end up around here, and it's going to come into this area. Now, I had my camera account on a moment ago, and I started planning out mentally where everything was going to go. So what we're going to do today is focus. Oh man, this is gorgeous. It's going to focus a bit more on the planning preparation aspect of this whole project, right? So yes, peeps are asking me to go to Sahara. I know that they're recording over there, so I won't. Right, I was getting through the noises in here. Flop444, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much, Flop. Peeps, thank you as always for your support. Truly do appreciate it. And welcome everyone to the stream. Couple of you in chat there saying it's your first stream. I saw that. So welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay today as we listen to the creepy music with the screaming and the weirdness. By the way, I fixed my headset yesterday, and what's really weird is I didn't resolder it, and I've got audio sort of in my right ear again. But my headset, I hadn't really talked about it, my headset was literally falling off of my head, right? The back of it was all falling apart. It was just, they were just hanging onto my ears. And I fixed it all. I took off all the old tape and retaped it again. And now I forgot how nice it is to have a headset that hugs your ears. It's good. Asuma, do you play or have ever considered playing Fortnite, says Archer. I downloaded it to my PlayStation because my friends play it, but I just couldn't be bothered to give it a try. It's so not my cup of tea. I don't really like shooters, apart from Doom. Bam! Crazy loud noise in the ear. It's an emerald face. It's none other than Sniper1974 resubscribing for 36 months in a row, saying, hi X, thanks for all the great content and hard work. I wanted to make a joke about my build team then, but I wasn't quick enough. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And thank you for the emerald face. Awesome. Why did you delete all the Factorio videos on your channel, says MXV. I didn't delete them. I unlisted them. They are still there if you want to go watch them. Just look for the playlist in the playlist section. Right. What are we doing? What are we doing? Terracotta, yes. Yes. Looking in chest helps me remember. Man looks in chest, remembers why. Don't know why I'm turning it into a headline. Okay, so yeah, let's make up some more of this stuff. And we're going to use this to create some outlines where plots and stuff are going to go. I actually have a load over here that I'd like to use up first. Ooh, not like that. Not like that. Doing it the wrong way. The video yesterday was hilarious, says Drugan. I'm glad you thought so. Peeps, if you haven't seen it on my channel, go check it out. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I had that idea quite some time ago, and I'm so glad that it could be brought to life, because, I mean, the response was really, really good, and I couldn't have asked for a better response, really. Like, that's fantastic. Yeah, it just... I love it. I love it when you see a good idea happen, right? Like, come to be. Okay, there we go. It's all cyan terracotta now. Are raiding farms possible in 1.14? Yes, they are, Thomas, and I kind of plan on building one. Is kind of my idea. So, what I like to do is start out with these kind of foundations, right? It's going to help me to have some wood. We have used a chacha in a couple of places here. We've used dark oak. I think I might use dark oak again. So when we use the same material twice, they're near one another. However, I am kind of low on the old dark oak, so we'll be throwing down some bits and bobs over here. Got a noise in the ear from Fury Swee, who's doing cheers, throwing the bits, saying, can't believe you never heard about the boss key in the old Doom game. It's a classic. I might be missing something here, but where did I hear boss key yesterday? Was it in something in the game? Because there's the key cards. I can't remember now. But maybe I do know. Maybe I'm just like blanking on it. Fury Sweet, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate your support. We also got Melez Melee here, resubscribing for 11 months. Thank you ever so much, Melez. Appreciate it. MXV says, please record some Factorio because the videos were hilarious. I don't think they were hilarious. But here's the thing. I just, time management wise, couldn't really do it. I was also in this weird state of umming and ahhing about if I should do it. And I kind of decided, okay, I'm going to go for it. But then when I realised that I didn't have the time to do it, it kind of made it easier for me to go, actually, this ain't a good idea. I feel so bad because I really enjoy that game and I really want to make that mega base. You know, I still think about it. I constantly read like the Factorio updates and think about that game, but not gonna do it, basically. Unfortunately, that idea has been put on hold for now. Okay, I think we need, every time I walk out here, I realise that I need a few more blocks. Now we're going to need to grow some trees. So we will do that. I'll let them grow naturally and chop them down as we work. So that should be good enough. And then I need some blocks for placing around. Josh, what is it? Says, how was your day? My day was great. Efficient. Just getting through the things that I do every day, one after the other. I had a lot of cooking and food prep to do. Made a whole bunch of smoothies again. And enjoyed my food. Eaten a lot of food yesterday. Today. Oh, I didn't pick up the blocks. Yesterday I had a bit of a junk day. I've been craving a pizza for so long, I decided to treat myself to a calzone. And man, did I own it. I tell you, I destroyed that pizza, okay? That pizza got eaten. And I'll probably have one again soon, actually. Smoothies, says Thamansky. Yeah, with a V, a smoothie. It's basically like you get a bunch of movies and put them in a blender and then you drink it. Don't do that, peeps. That's probably bad. Don't drink DVD discs. Catmar says, we are a sumo. We need custom trees. Custom. Oh, yeah. From the video. I love that loads of you like quoted some of the jokes, especially like the funeral and shut that baby up one. I'm really glad people got those jokes, by the way. I was a little bit fearful that some people wouldn't get it. Okay, now, judging by the height of the land around here and how big this is going to be, I think this is the height we will be at. So, we don't want to go too close to this wall. And what we want to do is have our foundation start around here, which we will do. That isn't actually how I laid out the other buildings. They have this block straight in the corner, but we're going to mirror that thing. So they're going to be linked together. They're going to be like a sort of stylistic pairing. Now this one's going to be much bigger, and this is the one that I'm going to offer up to the Concorp, right? They're talking about building some studios over here in this crazy tower bay, as we're calling it. Todd M is here subscribing, resubscribing for 11 months. Todd M, thank you for your support, I appreciate it. Omen says, shut that baby up. Oh. Akintux says, X, how can you make those poor folks build all your projects? Ha 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 ha. Oh, glad you lot liked it. To be fair, I think I was kind of anticipating people not getting the joke and being a bit too worried. I'm kind of been blown away. Like, there's lots of nice comments in the stream here as well. I spent some time today reading the comments and I was really pleased. It's still, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's still surprising me. Fury Swee is here throwing cheers and doing the bits. Isn't that the wrong way around? I don't know. Saying it was in the Mojang April Fool's video that you did on the second channel. Yeah, in my head though, I just can't remember boss key, because I know there were the different key cards and then there was that 3D thing. Maybe the 3D thing was called the boss key. We're going to have to wait, peeps, to get rid of this rain. And we're being raided with a party of 195 from none other than Mr. Il Mango. Mango, thank you ever so much for your raid there. Appreciate you raiding us over here. Peeps, if you don't know Il Mango, he does amazing things in this game. Amazing things. In fact, for anyone watching who doesn't know, it would be great if one of the mods could share a link to his channel. Yeah, what was I going to say? Something to do with something you showed in a video, but I can't remember what it was. Jeez. Oh, anyway, great job with the snapshot videos, man, as lately. There was something in it I was going to mention, but my brain goes blank so quick all the time. I really want to get rid of this rain, don't I? I'm just instinctively walking back here. Anyway, welcome all the raiders. We're working on Tower Bay, which is our area for 1.14 farms. When 1.14 comes out, we're going to be building a whole bunch over here. At the moment, what we're doing is setting up a space for the Concorp to come and have their little studio. That's what this one is reserved for. Studio? That's the different project. What's the most cringe thing you've ever done, says Archer's Watches? I don't know. Like, the whole thing with cringing is... I find cringe humour when it's directed at someone not particularly appealing. I love stuff like The Office, where it's a character, But when it's like directed at someone, I think it's pretty kind of sad to do that. And the other thing is like, oh, we got noises in the air to get to here. The other thing is that when, like, if you do something that you find cringy, right? I can't think of an example, because most of the time it's like, it's thoughts that you have that are in your head. It's how you perceive something, right? And a lot of the time we're human, right? So I don't know, let's say you're holding a bunch of stuff, right? And you're in, I don't know, like you're in King's Cross, or you're in a train station, and you drop it all everywhere, and you think, oh, it's so embarrassing, and like all this stuff goes everywhere. But it's like, you're only human. You know, half the time other people are looking at you and thinking, it'll happen to me one day, or whatever, you know? The best cringe humour is the kind that's a bit self-deprecating, says Hamstat. Well, if it's self-deprecating, wouldn't that imply that the person is in on it? Which I think is fair. We'll come back to that in a second. We got a noise in the ear from Gamer Chick, who's here for the donation, saying, hooray for the new outlook on life. Here's some support just because you're an incredible human. You're too kind there. Thank you for all the hard work and dedication to entertaining us all. Gamer Chick, thank you so much for the lovely message. Do appreciate your support. It means a lot, and thank you so much for the donation there. Hooray for a new outlook on life. Is that specifically something related to me or to you? I mean, I'm always trying to improve my outlook on life. I'm always trying to improve, like, where are we heading? And whatever I learn, I try and pass on to all of y'all watching as well. Like, we're talking about... Hayley Bailey says X is too pragmatic to cringe. Yeah, pragmatism right there. Absolutely. That's a choice word. But that's seriously how I feel. Like, I understand that instinct. Like, I don't know, you see someone do something, like, I don't know, someone wets themselves, right? And you might think cringe, but it's like, it's going to happen to you one day when you're old, or just unfortunately caught out of the loop, or whatever, you know? And I think it's about how you think about it that will make it feel cringy to you, right? So a lot of the time, I don't know, maybe there are things that people can do that are cringy, but I don't know what they are. Like, to me, half the time people are just people, and stuff happens that's embarrassing and silly, and just get on with it, really. Rick Me 85 is here, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Rick Me, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. And Defense 041 is here, resubscribing for 38 months in a row. Excuse me. 38 months in a row. Jeez, thank you ever so much for the wonderful support, Defense. Truly appreciate it. Love the build episode from yesterday. Keep up the awesome content. Thank you, man. We got Fury Sweet here with more cheers and more bits. Saying, geez, it was when you pressed the B key and the weird spreadsheet came up. B equals boss key. When the boss came, you hide your game. Okay, I am well and truly out of the loop then. I do not remember what that is. Like, when I pressed B, I didn't recognize that, whatever that was, the boss key thing. Yeah, that's actually totally over my head then. I don't remember anything like that from Doom, I don't think. But thanks for the info. I guess maybe... here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up my post-stream notes and put boss key Doom. I'm going to look that up and see if I can learn what it was and maybe remember. Chino says, Asuma being enthusiastic sounds so strange. Hello, Chino. Welcome back to another live stream. I can't even do that voice anymore. I can't even do that voice. It's too difficult. Maybe that'll be next year's April Fool's. Like, I'll just do boring voice for a whole episode. I want to get more creative, right? I've stepped up the game with a clever idea this time round. I think I'll try and one up, you know. That's what we want to do every time. We got Irvba subscribing with Prime. Probably butchered your name. Now you can put the butcher name emote in chat. Thank you ever so much, man. We got Ian Dakibro resubscribing for 7 months, saying that April 1st video was hilarious. You should do more of that. Yeah, I tell you what I should do more of. Looking for the opportunity to just break the norm and do something a little bit different. That I should do, but I don't think it should be treated like it's April Fool's, right? Like, I should just be looking for an opportunity to have a bit of fun with an idea. and that is something I would very much like to do. It's the kind of thing that like someone like ZDAF puts into their videos, and another person would be Grian, kind of has that edge for coming up with creative storylines and making them happen. I've for the longest time I've been very much like a just Minecraft oriented, like project oriented. What are we doing? What are we building? And I'm always expanding on the game aspect of that, but I struggle to think a little bit beyond the game sometimes, right? And think, oh, this game is like a stage for me to do something else. And I guess maybe yesterday was a moment where we actually did that. So thank you so much for your support. MKVII is here, resubscribing for 9 months. It's a Twitch baby. And we got Starry Eyes 313 resubscribing for 21 months, saying, hey X, any plans for Hardcore Hermits or similar soon? Nah, no plans really. We're focusing on... Oh my goodness me. I blanked. We have a meeting, and that means I'll have to cut my stream short. No, it's at 9 because of the hours. We don't have to cut our stream short. Yay! Forgot about meeting, remembered meeting. Yay! Right. Oh, putting it on my... I'm putting it on my after notes. 9 PM, Hermitcraft meeting. Tweet the Hermits and make sure they remember as well. Don't tweet the Hermits. Thank you, Starry Eyes, for reminding me of that. That was very important. Thank you for your 21 months of support. We are going to be focusing on our 7-year anniversary live stream, of which the meeting we're having tonight is in order to organise and prepare for that. So we want to make sure we can get as many peeps involved and do something special, you know. How much of your build team video was scripted versus loosely planned versus improv, said another JT. It was certainly a mix of all three, let's say that. It was very much a mix of all three of those things. I couldn't tell you, well I could tell you specifics if I remember how it went down, but it was kind of a mix, you know, and sometimes we would improvise our planning, right? We talked, we communicated, we came up with ideas, some stuff happened a bit more on the spot. It was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun. Make a tree farm, says Nadav. I am a tree farm. My axe is my tree farm. It would help in terms of collecting all of these saplings, right? I mean, that it would be good for. Oh man, I love this music. This is my jam right here. This is my jam. We got Secret Agent 2002 resubscribing for 3 months, saying didn't get to sub again during a stream, but here now. Well, welcome. Thank you for your 3 months of support. I appreciate it. Glad to have you with us today. And we got Load Nick on here, resubscribing for 19 months, saying having a lunchtime break, a sumo break. Think we'll open a window and increase brain activity. Yes, Load Nick on. Yes, recharge thy brain energies. Great stuff. I might move the entire position of this. What I should really do is get my camera account on, so I can take a look from in the sky, because I want to get this right, what we're doing right here. Okay, I'm loading up my camera account, by the way. We got Cap the Dragon resubscribing for 10 months in a row with Amazon Prime. We have Raving Pladdy Pie with the Prime. Clancast also subscribing with Amazon Prime. And we have Miyataki for 31 months in a row. Thank you ever so much for your tremendous support, peeps. Appreciated it as always. Let's get some camera account action. Do you know what I've seen Mumbo do and I'm going to do today? I'm going to turn down the render distance of this one, which is kind of weird for it being a camera account looking at what we're doing. Now if I go into my editor quickly and go down to captures, and let's try and add... This is probably a terrible idea, but let's add a game capture. Oh, the noises in the ear just don't stop at the moment. Okay, temp. Let's give it a name, temp. Right, can it do this? You gonna show me it? That is the correct window. Sweet. Okay, so now I'm gonna drag that down here. Then, oh yeah, you're liking that, aren't you? That looks professional, slick streaming right there. Okay, so I would say if we get a top-down view like this, We're kind of good. I think we're a little close to the... I actually think we're fine. I actually think we're fine there. We're just a little bit close to the path down the other end. Well then. Now you got that up there. I think I might zoom it in a little bit more so you can get more like, what is X doing kind of look of it. But anyway, we're going to run off camera for a second. Go over here. Oh, the noises in the ear. Peeps, thank you so much for the tremendous support. We got Fallen Army here, resubscribing for 4 months, saying, I have returned from the dead. Used to watch you a year or so ago. Back again. How's Hermitcraft 6 going? Fallen Army, welcome back. Season 6 has been tremendous, okay? You're probably looking around and thinking, oh, that's an interesting build. We had a civil war on this server this season. All sorts of shenanigans gone down. By far the best season ever. I mean, I say that every season, but I think next season we're gonna be like playing next season for a year before you can even begin to think it's better than this. Like, it's gonna be fascinating to see Hermitcraft moving forward from here. Okay, now, do I continue raising the base? I think I do. I think I'm going to play around with the height dynamic over here as we go across into this area. This is a very big base for the Concorp to build something with as well. We're giving them the biggest bit of real estate, you know. They can build a Scar Tower, they can build a Cub Tower, it'll be amazing. Curtish Enderson is here subscribing with Amazon Prime, thank you. Occasionally Good Gamer, subscribing with Amazon Prime, I fell in the cave. That just happened. Thank you for your Prime subscription. And we got Darth Medi for 24 months. That's a diamond face in chat. Darth Medi, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. X, it wasn't Doom Bosky, it was DOS. Oh, okay, okay. So it's related to DOS, right? He said it. Shenanigans. My day is fulfilled. Shenanigans? I love that word. Zero says, was it fun to record? Yeah, we had a blast recording the April Fool's video. We really did. Did you hear the Pewd song? Congratulations, says Woe Enza. Ah, yeah, let's talk about news. Let's talk about news stuff happening. I've admittedly been watching a bit of the old Philip DeFranco. He covered the Pewd song. So I watched the Pewd song. I liked it at first. Got this really colourful kind of energy to it. And then, like, when he started getting into the lyrics, I started to get a bit... because there's one thing I don't want this T-series thing to, well, I don't like seeing. I've seen it already, but I, you know, encourage people not to look at it this way. Is for it to get racial or to get about like one country, or you know, for it to become about anything other than corporate company versus, you know, independent YouTuber. But then I found out that actually no, his lyrics weren't jokes. They're actually referencing some scandals and suspicious things happening in and around the T-Series channel and people that work there. So I was kind of relieved to hear that. I was like, alright, like, because I'd hate for the things that he was saying there to be interpreted as being racial in some way. Now, there is this annoying thing that happens every now and then in this game where your builds don't quite line up. I'm going to push everything back that way by 1 block. Oh, you're going to hate me for this. It has to be done. So there's a 2-block gap on either side. I think that's important. 1 block is a little bit close, so we want 2. So now you'll see me rebuild some of this stuff. Are you going to build supports for the cliff against the path? Oh yes, yes. The whole thing will make sense in the end. It's one of the things that I love about doing projects like this, is that you don't plan everything in advance. And I've learned to kind of embrace this a little bit. We talked about it in the past, how, oh, if you had creative mode, couldn't you just shift everything that way by 1 block? Right now, that would actually be pretty convenient, wouldn't it? But I really like the way you sort of start out with a blank palette, and you have a bunch of ideas, and then as you're trying to execute them, things get shuffled and moved around, and then it ends up all coming together, and I really like that process. So that's why I'm kind of happy to do something like this. And as you can see, obviously, we haven't built up the wall. We've started deliberately doing everything 1 block, so that makes our lives a little bit easier once we get to this point. Let's do a quick sapling check. I have been rambling, and probably all of those saplings have gone away, but we've still got a nice, plentiful supply. We're going to need sapling emotes in chat soon, aren't we? We got noises in the ear from Godilla for 2 months saying, wow. Thank you, not Godilla. Godlia. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. We also got Country for Liff. Country for Liff. Thank you ever so much for the support. Appreciate it. Emerald Rain there with the tea emotes in chat. I appreciate it, Emerald Rain, but I have no tea today. Once again, I had a tea right before I started streaming. Just the way it worked. I planned on getting on the treadmill again and then having a tea directly after, and then it was like stream time, so I was like, okay, you know, that'll do. I always build organically with no planning, says Hayley Bailey. Well, to what extent? Because I am planning right now. I'm going to plan out the layout or the locations of the various things that we're building in this area, essentially. Oh, I thought we had a funky block there. Slippy Mr. Fish says, I haven't watched in ages. Nice to see that Orang is still around. Yeah, although we haven't had an Orang album. Not this. Have we had it this year? Goodness me. Time flies. We probably have. We'll probably listen to the album that came out this year. I know we're not. I know this one didn't. But, yeah, just joking around. Oh, Cover's logged in. Let's tell Cub what we're up to. He might not know, actually. It might be a bit cryptic. I've noticed most of the hermits are very different to me with how they go about playing or treating projects. I'm the kind of person where it's like, if I mention a project to someone that I'm interested in doing, it's like solidified in my mind, whereas to other people it can be a bit more casual. So sometimes I can be like, oh yeah, do you want to build a skyscraper? And someone might be, oh, that might be cool. And then in my mind it's like, Scar is building skyscraper. Do you know what I mean? But I've mentioned it to them a couple of times. Hopefully, well, Cub probably doesn't know what I mean by real estate, but yeah, I'll explain what I'm doing if he asks, I guess. Did anything I just say make any sense? It's quite the ramble. It's quite the ramble. Say silk 1 time, say silk 2 times, say silk 3 times, say silk 4 times, say silk 5 times, say silk 6 times, say silk 7 times. What do cows drink? They drink silk. I mean milk. Okay, I saw that one coming. Mbillion is here subscribing with Amazon Prime. Mbillion, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying today's stream. We got Surprise Tulpa resubscribing for 15 months in a row, saying, hi X, you're such a nice guy, you can't even act like you're mad at people. I thought my acting was pretty good. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, jeez. Thank you for the nice message, appreciate your support. I enjoyed that little bit of acting, it's fun to get into a role. One thing that was tricky though is that A, it was hard not to laugh, and B, it was actually kind of difficult being mean to people you like. I was saying that, I was like, oh, it feels kind of rotten even though you know it's a joke. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, says Matt's Pud. Yes, I learned about that rapper today. It sounded like he was a good bloke, and you know, that made me want to go check out his music because you know, positive voices in hip-hop I think we could do more of sometimes. Excellent, look at this. Bam! Right, so that's the foundation of the potential Concourt building. Or towers even, should I say. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What a massive plot. And then that, of course, is going to drop down into this space here, and we're going to be able to, yeah, really kind of make that look interesting. Let's get our camera account again. So now we've built this, we're looking at the top corner. And you can see, obviously, there's a space for, like, a path to come through the middle here. Got to sort of look at the middle of the screen to understand where I'm talking about. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is turn this into a tower block, and I think we'll go there and we'll do that next. Yes, yes we will. What are your thoughts on rap, says Josh, what is it? I love rap music and hip hop. I think its history is absolutely incredible. I think lyrically it's genius. Like, you know, the whole concept of, like, there's some rappers out there that, you know, don't give you a lot, right? But if you go listen to something like Nas and Illmatic, you know, hip hop is poetry, and I love the instrumental side a heck of a lot as well. I love how you can take old songs and reuse them and create them into something new. I think that's a really magical thing. What do you think about mumble rap? Says the Mansky. I like some of it. Yeah, I you know, it's kind of ironic. There's for me, someone who likes the golden age of hip hop, which is the 90s. There's obviously, you've probably seen it if you're into rap music. There's a lot of kind of pushback against mumble rap. I'm not into pushing back, and to me, it kind of makes sense that like when a lot has been done that can be done, you then sort of turn to rebellion, and so the rebellion in hip hop is against the art, the fundamental of the art form, and I think that's important for it to move forward, for something like that to happen. So I don't really go into mumble rap with like any prejudged notion of like this isn't how it should be. I'm like, can you entertain me? Can I hear something good that I'm going to be interested in here? And I have plenty of times in mumble rap. I'd say on average, it's not that interesting. Well, you know, it feels a bit like if I go back and dig out records from the 90s, like it's just classic after classic, it feels like. But with mumble rap, I don't know, of what I've tried to explore, it does feel like there's a little less diamonds in the rough or something like that, you know, or there's more rough to diamonds, let's say. But, you know, I haven't spent a lot of time exploring what's going on in that subgenre. Surprise Tobler says, X, move the camera to the left, bottom corner. Oh, to hide the carrot. That's not a bad idea right there. Let's hide that carrot. Carrot, get hidden. That's actually kind of a bit weird. I think I need to adjust it a bit further. Like that. Is that good? I think that's good. Nice suggestion. So this is actually going to be a very small section. One thing I've realised is that... Do I have any junk I can throw away here? Yeah, let's get rid of those things. I'm going to go sleep. Do we ever get a reply from... No, we never got a reply from Cub. I'm going to go sleep in the bed. Have you listened to XXXTentacion at all? I have not, Azrael. I haven't not had a proper listen, a like sort of preliminary checkout listen. Wasn't particularly impressed, not that I remember much, and also read a lot of nasty stuff about him, so I kind of didn't really take the time to check him out. But one of the... I wouldn't really call him a mumble rapper at all, actually. Lil Peep was a fascinating listen. I really, really enjoyed that guy's music. I mean, enjoy, you know, like I still put it on from time to time. Hey, X Eminem, says David. I mean, Eminem is literally like the rapper of my generation, so, you know, without a doubt. Have you ever listened to dubstep music, says Luke Games? You know, when dubstep was big back in like 2009, I kind of brought into it a bit and listened to Skrillex and stuff. Those songs have not aged well for me. I go back and listen to these like Skrillex songs like Reptile that I used to absolutely dig, but kind of reminds me a lot of like the deathcore music of the time as well. It just ended up feeling a little bit hollow. I didn't seem to have the legs, at least for me. So if we create a base like that, we're going to create the same size as that one over there. I think that's the way we'll move forward. Now if we look at the alignment here, you'll see that we just need to push it back an entire block. So we'll chop out this space and we'll probably build the base a little bit lopsided to begin. We're just trying to get in the foundations here, you know. We got a noise in the ear from Ian Dickabro. I probably butchered the name again, haven't I? Every time I try and say that one, I get it wrong. With some cheers and some bits. So thank you ever so much for the cheers and the bits. Truly do appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying today's stream. I'm certainly having fun. I'm really glad I remembered the Hermitcraft meeting. I've missed a few recently just for like, yeah, just being a bit out of the loop. What happens is they're on my day off, so I kind of get a bit disoriented with plans changing and just being completely out of YouTuber mode, if you like. So I definitely don't want to miss Hermitcraft meeting. Anthony Fantano gave Nav a not good. What's Nav? Is Nav a rapper or is it an album? Thoughts on Nightcore? Not heard of Nightcore, Josh. So yeah, we were talking about the news, right? Now, something is happening in Ukraine, and I happen to have watched the first episode of this show. It's a Ukraine TV show where a comedian, or no, it's a teacher, a school teacher, kind of rants and raves on his phone about corruption in the government, and then this is I can't believe the words coming out of my mouth, but okay, so this is a TV show, right? The guy has a rant on his phone, and this leads to him actually starting up a campaign to become president of that country. I only watched the first episode, the humour wasn't really for me, and I kind of moved on. But now, in Ukraine, the actor who played the president in that show, who got elected by having this rant against anti-corruption, has actually been running for the position of Ukraine on similar things to the show about anti-corruption, and is actually leading to get elected in their current situation of polling and electing and voting and all of that stuff, right? Like, how unbelievable is that? How unbelievable. The position of Ukraine, says Goat Unicorn, I probably worded things very badly. They're voting to have a new president, right? They're going through that process that countries go through every so often. And he is actually running for it. An actor / comedian who was in a show where he ran for president and got it, right? A TV show, a comedy. And now he's actually doing the same thing again. I mean, someone in chat is from Ukraine, probably, because there's a global audience right here. If we've got someone from Ukraine, they'll probably confirm it for us or whatever. Like, that is an insanely bizarre story. Let's look at the camera account here. I think it might be nicer to... Yeah, I think I'm going a little bit too far here. That's what I wanted to check. I think we're going to turn the corner now. We're also producing a lot of grass, so I'm going to bring this over to the other side, and then probably go drop some off so we can pick up more. There's a similar Black Mirror episode, says Rodix. Yeah, I think I've seen all of Black Mirror, but that's not jumping into my head. Are you familiar with Gil Scott-Heron? He's super influential in the creation of hip-hop, has been sampled a lot by Kanye West. No, not particularly. But I know my history of hip-hop very well. I mean, unless it's like, you know, Sugar Hill Gang was kind of like the first, you know, taking disco music, the first hip-hop record to go on wax. And then early sampling, I mean, I can't think of specifics right now, but obviously James Brown was a bit of like a revolution towards the end of the 80s. With Eric B and Rakim kind of picking up his sampling. Then you have the Amen loop, which is obviously a big part of like techno music and rave music as well. That's on NWA's Straight Outta Compton. But I've not heard of that name before. But I do know a lot. Like, I seriously fascinated with its origin story. I mean, like, the origin story of hip-hop is so fascinating. You can literally create some, like, lineage to the New York blackout of, what year was it? Like 1970? No, wait, I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's somewhere in the 70s, right? There's a blackout in New York, and it leads to riots and looting and all this kind of stuff. But literally in the months after is where you have there's these three different big names. I'm going to forget some of them. One of them begins with H. Then you have I think it's Huey something. Then you have African Bombardo, and then you have Grandmaster Flash. And they are literally these three different boroughs in New York. And after this blackout happens, where all the lights go out and there's riots, like, people robbed stores and got their hands on the equipment to sample records and then play them. And like, all of a sudden, like, hip-hop music was born, because these poor communities all of a sudden had music equipment in their hands, and they weren't traditional instruments, they were turntables, and they put it to use and took the break beats out of the vinyl records that they had and mixed things together, and they had microphones now. And Katie Lancers and the LA Riots. The LA Riots is quite different. That's in the 90s, hip-hop is established, you know, The Chronic came out around that. That's not like an origin story of hip-hop, but it's an incredibly interesting part of it. But yeah, hip hop was far more established. That's when it was going mainstream with sort of post NWA success of like Dr. Dre and whatnot. So yeah, like you can literally like trace back the origins of hip hop to this event where you know, the city goes into blackout and people like steal, and then all of a sudden these communities have this equipment in their hands that isn't traditional music equipment. They find a way to make music with it. I just think it's absolutely like incredible. Guy in the black tee says, Asuma, have you ever watched The Get Down on Netflix? It's based about the time period you're talking about, and it's about hip hop. Yeah, I have watched it. That gets a lot of stuff fairly accurate from what I understand. It also glorifies it a lot, and it dramatizes the story a fair bit. I think a lot of the stuff around Grandmaster Flash is probably heavily dramatized. But yeah, watching that show was like, oh, this looks cool, I'll watch this, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is the story that I love, right? That if anyone wants to check that out, I would actually recommend watching documentaries first. That's the way I learned about it, and it feels better to get the proper story first. But yeah, The Get Down is a dramatization of the origin story of hip hop. The NYC blackout was in 1977, says Steph Pav. There you go, we've got a date. That sounds about right, because I think the first hip hop record comes out in 1979, right? Hey X, what about Lose Yourself, says David. Great song, but yeah, I mean, it's a great song, but it's like, you know, much further down the line in terms of what we're talking about. There's also some even more interesting stuff as well, pre-hip-hop now, like early 70s in New York. If anyone's heard of a movie called The Warriors, or the computer game based on the movie, you'd be shocked like I was to find out that is based on, like, very closely based on an actual reality of New York City, where there was a time where people went around as gang members wearing leather jackets with different gang names on the back, right? East Wind says, love that movie. My best friend says, the Warriors come out to play. Yeah, there's people in chat who know what I'm talking about, so you're going to love this, okay? I love that game, had it for PS2, says Eastwind. Same here, I had so much fun playing that. I'd love to play that game again, but I know I'm just going to fire up the PS2, and it's just going to be underwhelming, because gaming has, like, come so far beyond, you know, a little bit of nostalgia, but then it will probably, the fun will be over for me. That's just what I'm like with games. But anyway, so this is, like, based on true events, and the concept of the movie is that it starts with all of the gangs coming together. And what's even more incredible is that did happen. The crime got so bad in the city that they had to try and bring the gangs together. And even more incredible, they filmed it and you can watch it on YouTube. It is so fascinating. So someone had a camera, because these gang members would actually go on the local TV news stations and talk about the violence and the trouble and all of this. And, you know, they would have these uniforms where they would have, like, what is it? Are they leather jackets or are they jean jackets? Sort of blue jean jackets with these gang names sort of sewn in on the back, and oh, it's just unbelievable, really. Who do you think is the best, old hip-hop or new hip-hop? I mean, it depends where you want to define old and new, but I think there are, like, very pivotal points in hip-hop's lineage that you can point to and go, there, like, that's a really important thing that's happened. And I think probably for the entire span of hip-hop, I'd probably say Eric B and Rakim are pretty much, like, a quintessential pivotal point. I think Eric really transforms beats. When you go listen to the beats before he came along, you can see how he just set the stage for the 90s to happen. And same for Rakim as well. Like, you can't have a Nas without Rakim. He changes up, you know, rapping so much. He brings in new types of flows. His lyrics are intricate. He, you know, starts to shape up different rhythms and just bring some really intelligent styles of rapping together. And I think he sorts of set the stage for people to break out of the norm of, like, what rapping was like and start to get really artistic and individual with it. And fun fact for you, when I first got into Minecraft, that was when I was discovering Eric B and Rakim and listening to all of their records. Oh. Right, okay. What are we doing now? We're going to check the camera account next. So, we have put together 2 bases, and we got a noise in the ear. It's Papa L Danger here for 3 months. Papa L Danger, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it, and I hope that you are enjoying today's live stream. So I've got an idea. I've got an idea about what we're going to do next. I don't think we're going to try and squeeze anything into this space. I kind of want to make this space that we're looking at here a bit of a courtyard. So then our next tower base is probably going to be in this corner space area where the beacon is. Maybe we'll even try and play with having the path go under it, or messing with some new ideas there. So we're not going to get too carried away with what we're doing next. Ah, nice, says Cub. Wonder what's going on there. We're gonna focus on the HRN now. Okay, so the plan is for Python and I to have a little offshoot HRN from a station that's going to go there. I just realised this is like microscopically small in the corner, but yeah. I'm just going to build. I think it's easier for me to just build and show you with this account actually. Mad Dog says just researched the MIC blackout was mid-July 1977. There we go. Cuplex with the late bananas. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Totally check out Gil Scott. Yes, Matt, I've seen you mention it many... Oh, that's not my document. Let's go to my document. I will learn. I will research and learn. I love hip-hop history. I'm just surprised. I know the origin stuff like really quite well. So I was a little bit surprised to have not heard that name. Slippy Mr. Fish says you probably get this a lot, but I bet you have thought about doing a radio podcast. I get really get interested hearing you talk about stuff. I think it's something that might evolve from this one day. I would call this the podcast, right? What's happening here is currently working, but I'm learning and developing a skill about what's like how to talk and how to get it right. And if I think about what's holding this back from being better, it's just not being prepared. Like I just all of a sudden start talking about hip hop and all this stuff comes into my head. If I could be more researched, I could put together a show where I talk about it, right? And I think maybe one day that might be a natural development. If ever this adventure ends, I might move into something like that. Who knows? So someone was saying that late 2000s hip hop is a little bit underrated. Artists like Jay-Z and Rihanna and Drake, and that's not really my cup of tea. But I think when people say like something is underrated, I mean someone rates it, right? Like this whole overrated underrated concept to me is just kind of you sort of take your own emotion towards something, then you try and look for like what else is being said about it, and then you kind of like weigh it up and say overrated or underrated. It's like a very inaccurate way of trying to, like, I think it would be more better to say is to express your own interest in that era. Like, what is it that you want to say about it? What do you like about it? How do you feel about Wu-Tang and Doom, says Tronic. I love the Wu-Tang clan and I love Doom. Wu-Tang is like 36 Chambers is actually another really pivotal point. There's a record for anyone who's a fan of Wu-Tang Clan. There is a record by a group called Black Moon. I think I even did a blog on it on my music blog, and I did Wu-Tang 36 Chambers if you want to read up on that record, which is incredible. Yeah, so there's a band called Black Moon who kind of sort of did Wu-Tang just a little bit before Wu-Tang did. But what Wu-Tang did is they sort of brought low fidelity, different style of aesthetics. There was a massive shift from what was currently being heard in hip-hop music. They also brought a large collective of 9 MCs, and their breakout track, Protect Your Neck, has no like chorus hook thing. It's just one rapper, then another, then another, then another, and they bring this crazy new rhyme style, which is I've heard referred to as free association quite a lot, which is where the structure of your rhymes are a lot more loose, so you're allowed to throw together things that are sort of related to one another without being a coherent sentence, and that style is just amazing. I love it. They still do it to this day. I've been listening to the new like Scarface record with Ghostface, and the Wu-Tang rap style is just amazing. X is a true hip-hop head, says Tronic Data. I swear, man, I am like, yeah, I'm fully down with that music. I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do is make sure we start to build this line in the correct place, because we're going to go bring it over to my area. Let's have a look at Python's foundations here. I mean, Python's free to modify what we're about to do, by the way. I'm just trying to like get us started here. So it looks like that block... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky. I was planning on sort of building a front here, but just looking at the layout, like there's 2 blocks here and 3 blocks there. We come over here, I guess it's 1, 2, 3, and then you have the corner block. Oh, I see now. So these pillars are on the outside, right? So if I want to build this up the way Python, I assume, is going to do. First of all, we need that. Then we need this, and I did the wrong one. Can that be crafted back? Ah, I can do that. That's crafting it back. What do I want then? If not that. Smooth quartz, no. I can't remember. Wait, what am I trying to remember? What am I trying to remember? It's there. Oh, what a derp. Oh, goodness me. We've gotten this far into the stream. It's a colossal derp, my friends. Pressing that dirt button. Pressing that dirt button. The Rascal Jack is here, resubscribing for 5 months, saying it's a noise in your ear. Thank you so much for the noise in the ear, buddy. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying today's stream. Ah, whoopsie. I'm trying to do a thing with my camera account here and it's not working. Oh, what just happened there? Okay, that's better. Okay, right, now I can see we got 1,200 peeps who have tuned in today, so thank you ever so much for tuning in, peeps. I say it all the time lately in my streams, some people are getting sick of hearing about it, but feel free to hit that follow button if you're enjoying the stream today, and you can follow me and catch some more streams in the future. Right, peeps, I'm no longer looking at my screen, and you want to know why, don't you? Why is X not looking at his screen? He's supposed to be streaming. Well, now I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't be looking at your screen either. You're thinking, he's a madman, I'm tuning out. No, I'm just looking out for your health. This is so goofy. I'm very aware of how goofy this is, peeps. But what we do is every hour of streaming, I take a moment to look away. You're supposed to take 5 minutes every hour you're on a computer staring at a screen. You know, if you're young, you're probably like, I don't need to do that. But if you're my age or older, you might every now and then find your eyes get a little bit worn out or tired. This is just a good practice to you know, keep them nice and healthy. Now, I don't take a full 5 minutes. When the doctor told me that, I went, Doctor, you're crazy. I'm not going to take 5 minutes off when I'm in the middle of the stream. Jeez. Anyway, you can take this moment to drink some water, replenish your fluids, get hydrated. And if you're in a stuffy room, open a window. Don't you know that your brain will operate better when it is properly oxygenated? You didn't know that, did you? But now you do. That is some knowledge. Is that the... Where'd the pillar block go? Did I actually make the pillar block? Is that another derp? Where's the pillar block? Wait, I am so confused. Quartz pillar. Okay, I do not know what just happened. But I can hear all the follow noises in my ear, so thank you everyone for doing that. I appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So if this one is the same, it will have 7 blocks going up. Woody says, I'm big into tech games, and I'm also a drummer. My sight and hearing are big concerns for me. Well, I don't know much about health for ears. Actually, I do. If you go to concerts, in fact, being a drummer, you might want to invest in getting some proper ear plugs. Okay, I'm not talking about buying some in a shop. I'm talking about going to your opticians. Yes, opticians. and getting an ear test done and getting your ears molded. This is what I did. And now I have custom earplugs that I used to take to gigs. And I tell you what, major difference, right? When I go to gigs, never have to experience bad sound, because it does this weird thing where it brings all the sound down to one level. So you never, like, in the past I've gone to gigs and there's been like an instrument that's overpowering all the others. never experience that anymore. At the same time, you can sort of hear people talking around you, even though there's music playing, which is kind of strange. But yeah, it protects your ears, and they recommend like different levels, and I wish I'd have got one a little bit lower down because I do like the energy of the loud sounds. But anyway, I never have ringing in my ears after a show or anything like that. It's cool. They're good. They're great. ACS is the company that do them if you want to look them up. Mickle Sticker was here. He subscribed for 28 months in a row, saying, "Hi, X, good evening. I still can't believe you used Game Mode 1 on the Hermitcraft server." Oh, of course you didn't. Your minions did. Joke. Yeah, I would never go into creative mode, would I? I moved forward in creative mode. Oh no, everyone's gonna stop watching. Oh no, the server is tainted forevermore. Python, why don't you have a bed? Why doesn't Python have a bed? Okay. Hacks, says Winnie. Hacks! Ugh. 8 Rover says, how much do those cost roughly? Been looking over some recently. It cost me around £100, I think. And if that sounds like a lot, I mean, you're talking about your health. It's like, I brought a chair that costs a lot of money. I brought a bed that costs a lot of money. And it was an investment in health. It can be easy to go, you know, and think, oh, that's a rubbish amount of money to spend on a bed. But, like, you spend a third of your life in it. So, you know, you want to make sure it's a good bed, really. And I tell you what, if I rewind, like, 8 years or whatever, oh, my body is so much better for it, for doing these things. Got to take care of your body. Take care of your body, it takes care of your mind. Okay, so now we've got to build some more pillars, then some quartz, then some stairs again. So I think what I need is that, this, that's odd. Now you're dead. Vinny the Gooch is here subscribing with Amazon Prime, and Macintosh 1095 has subscribed with Amazon Prime as well. Appreciate it ever so much. And Mickle Stickle for 28 months in a row. I didn't do that, did I? I appreciate you. Thank you. How do we get the quartz pillar block again? I am going mad. Didn't I just try that a moment ago? Going mad here. Right, so we've got those. We've got these. And then we need those other crazy ones, don't we? I think we've got all we need now. It has to be in the centre, X has chosen BC. What has to be in the centre? No, the pillars up there do, yeah. Hand Soap, glad you've been loving the music of Orang. That's terrific to hear. Okay, there we go. So these ones go here, that's the idea. That rhymed. Hey guys, since X doesn't answering me, haha! What is he gonna build? Because I don't know. That cracked me up. Haha! Just in the middle of the message. We're building a HRN line, and what I want to do, I don't really need to build everything I'm doing right now, but I thought I'd come over here and build the front so I get the height correct. I mean, it's really unnecessary for me to build the height here. But for some reason, I don't know, maybe I wanted to build some quartz. Maybe I just wanted to help Python out because he's got loads of quartz with this project, right? So if we're adding a little bit here, we're helping out. Okay, so then the pillar comes up. This is a really nice design. It's swish. Ugh, falling down, coming back up again. And then it kind of looks like it's these ones, and then this. How do I do this without wasting a block? Just like that. Yeah, Vinny the Gooch, thank you for subscribing. I got this old picture saved on my computer from years ago, where it's just Vinny the Pooh instead of Winnie the Pooh, right? And he's just like Winnie the Pooh, but he's like got tats and like got a chain around his neck and looks hard. Cracks me up. Winnie the Pooh. Oh. Okay, so our rail line is pretty much going to go over the top here. Now, I think if it were to go... I was thinking it should be it should have like a 2 wide gap, but I think it would look nicer in Python's area if it went through the middle of these windowed areas. So we're gonna bring it up. I don't know what height is best as well, but I think we're gonna leave it like that. So this is the HRN line now. Consult your build crew, says T-Rock. They're in the background. Frank says, X seems to be in such chirpier mood today. I'm in a great mood today, yeah. It's been productive. I love being productive. I love doing all the things that I do and getting them done. Chief Flamehead says, hey X, have you heard of the band Imagine Dragons? If so, do you like them? I don't like them. Let's not go on about Imagine Dragons again, please. Right, yeah, that's how we're going to do that. So now, I need to get more of these blocks, right? More than we've got here. Because that's essentially the line that's going to run through the middle of Python's area. And I want to get it to come out on this side so we can start moving it over into our area. I think we're going to need a lot of this white concrete, so time for a rocket. X, any tips on being productive, says Tronic Data. Yeah, don't multitask. And if you do multitask, make sure it's 2 very basic, simple things. When you want to be productive, schedule time for it. Take away the distractions. You know, don't have something on the telly while you're trying to do something. Or, I mean, I would say don't use music. For me, it's always music. Like, I always do better with music. My brain is just wired to have music on. If there's music on, I focus, I get things done. But yeah, when it comes to multitasking, people tend to think they're good, but they're not. And, you know, you might think, it's just other people. But once you identify it in yourself, I had to identify it in myself. I was like, yeah, actually, I do kind of load up like a lot of stuff and shuffle between them. Then I sort of forget what I'm doing. And, yeah, I'm not as productive as I'd like to think I am. Once you identify that, then you can get a little bit more productive. But, I mean, lots of things like planning, scheduling time, being disciplined is a huge one. You know, don't get caught into, I'll look at YouTube for 5 minutes, you know. That's a really important one. So, why do we come back here? More white clay, I believe. So that means I need white clay. You know what I'm talking about. I need my sand, I need my gravel now. We'll take a stack. Take a stack. Man, this song is awesome. Just saying, sorry. Just putting that out there. Let's actually do that much. Stack and a half each. Cool. Then we need the old bone meal. The meal for the bone. And then we need the old crafting bench. Where's that old crafting bench gone? I left it in Python's area. Show weeds. Right, that goes back in here. And now we've got to do some magic and make this stuff into the other stuff. That's the one. Greg Falcor says, haha, Mr. X, haha, I wonder if he will mention this comment. Because of the haha. Do you play other games other than Fortnite and Minecraft? I don't play Fortnite. Jeez. Jeez, trying to insult me, are you? No, I'm messing with you. No, I don't play Fortnite. Music without lyrics is dope, says Matspad. Yeah. Sometimes it's better to have music without lyrics. Probably a lot of the time it is. But what's really weird is that I'll listen to rap and the lyrics... It's almost like I can turn a switch and not be listening. Unless it's like classic rap, like something with lyrics I adore, like Wu-Tang or Nas or whatever. Like then I'm like, I can't not listen, you know. But otherwise, sometimes I can turn it off. Just not even process it. Me, let's draw for the next 8 hours. Also me. 8 hours on YouTube. Also me. 4 hours watching anime. There you go. In bed. All in bed. Get out of bed. You want to be more productive, you know. Be in shape. Like I said earlier, healthy body, healthy mind. Like, get up, move around, wake your body up. Your mind will come along with it. Did you know Tetris 99 has better ratings on Google than Apex? Alright. Didn't know that. What's Apex? X, who's your favourite Wu-Tang member? Please say ODB, says Matt's Pod. You're going to hate me now, Matt. ODB I'm not massively keen on. I just never really dug too much of what he did. I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just wasn't quite for me. Favourite is probably Raekwon the Chef. I love his solo stuff, love his style. I think Method Man is great as well, but I think Method Man is kind of great when he's with Wu-Tang, and when he's not, I don't know, not a lot of his solo stuff has popped that much. Ghostface is pretty impressive. Inspector Deck, if there's so many of them to remember, if I'm getting it right, wasn't it Inspector Deck who did the opening verse on Triumph? That is one of the finest lyrics you'll ever hear. That's some poetry, absolute poetry in motion right there. Like, that's some beautiful stuff you got to think through. Like, you read the lyrics and then you got to do some research to know what he's talking about. Like, it's brilliant. HCC says, I think it's a really good thing that X is talking about the importance of health. Good health. I hope it is. Have you checked out Ghostface's collab with Bad Bad Not Good? I have not, no. Ghostface is very active, and I've never really caught up with him too much. I've listened to like the classic breakout solo records like Iron Man. That's got some great stuff on it, like Winter Wars. Oh, amazing songs. Yeah, but he's got a lot of records and done a lot of projects, and I haven't really kept up with him. Do you watch /C memes? No, I got anti-meme sunglasses that I put on when I go on the internet. Tim Former says the gaming YouTuber is talking about health and isn't being a hypocrite. Well, yeah, there's that stereotype in gaming, right? It's not just a stereotype, you can see it. There is clearly like an inclination or a leaning towards bad lifestyle habits, but it makes sense. Like, gaming can be like a very indulgent activity, and the problem with indulgent activities is that they can take away your attention from other priorities, things that are important. Yeah, so I mean, it's one of the things I don't like very much about gaming culture is just the embracing or sort of like the glorifying of like bad habits, and there's just stuff that I see in it that kind of like grind my gears a little bit, like all the energy drinks. It's like, come on, like, I tell you what, peeps, I tell you what, right, energy drinks, they grind my gears. Do you want to know why they grind my gears? Because the name is a complete lie. They should call them, I don't know, like, basically, let's put all of our byproducts from other chemical processes like decaffeinating other foods and drinks, and let's ram them all into a horrible drink that's full of, you know, dirty, chemically, ugh, right? This is a really bad rant. I'm not even being clever here. Liquid heart attack equals energy drinks is witty. Like, the genius of energy drinks is that they took waste products that no one would surely want and managed to just advertise them to people. And then the thing is with drinking energy drinks and enjoying them is that you're getting all buzzed out because you're putting a load of weird stuff into your system that ain't particularly great for it. Like, I know what it is to drink energy drinks and eat bad. I have transformed. I have come from one place to another, and I was nowhere near as energetic when I was drinking energy drinks compared to now, where I eat, you know, veggies and green. I eat proper good, healthy food, and, you know, I drink pretty much nothing but water and tea, right? And I'm way more energetic than ever been, and that's because I exercise and work out and get the body in good shape. Like, gamers drinking energy drinks is like you're sitting on your ass and you're putting rubbish in your system. That's what it is. And it just, I can't stand it. I can't stand how they're like, all these professional gamers sponsored by energy drinks. It just makes no sense. Should be sponsored by like a, you know, get up off your ass and run company. That's what they should be. Energy drinks are disgusting. They're actually painful to drink, says the King of Eyes. Yeah, I mean, obviously people enjoy them. So why would it be painful for you to drink it? Probably because you realise what you're actually drinking, and also once you become kind of aware of like these different types of very chemically tasting products, you'll probably grow a dislike for them when you know that you're bad for them. Because I used to drink them and love them, and then I stopped drinking them and I had cravings for a long time and I'd want to drink them, and then after a while, like I kind of realised how naff they were compared to just like the thing with something that's addictive is that it takes like a long time to separate yourself from that and then realise what it actually is, and it's not that great. Basically, it's not that great. It just gives you a buzz, and then you want that buzz over and over again. I'm pretty darn healthy. I eat veggies and do a lot of exercise, but because of that I end up eating 5 bags of crisps a day just because of my incredible hunger, says Han Snow. You know, the thing with 5 bags of crisps are a lot of calories. A bag of crisps is about 300 calories. You're looking at 5 bags of crisps, let's see, 6, 9, 12, 1,500 calories. And average person, if you're well, I don't know actually where I'm getting at here, because there's quite a lot of variables that go into an average, right? But let's just say 2,500 if you're like a big adult like myself, like tall, would be kind of 2,000 to 2,500. That's a massive portion of calories dedicated to crisps. And maybe you can get away with it. Maybe there's 2,000 calories you can dedicate to your favourite food, which is crisps. And I love crisps, man. They're great, but they're not a particularly great source of energy. They're not a particularly healthy product, right? So even though you might be able to get away with it, they call those things like that junk carbs, is the kind of terminology that I've heard. Like, probably a good idea to get away from eating that many of them, right? Try and find something a little bit healthier. X, you said arse before, that's not family friendly, says Sigrun. Yeah, if arse is not... Did I put that there? Oh, apparently I did, because it's got all stuff that I had in it. Why did I come back here? Food. Let's do this over here. Is a crisp a potato chip, says Steph. Yes, that's the one. That's the one for the old cultural barriers there. Most people usually eat too much because they get bored and start eating. If you say stay busy, usually you eat less as well. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I'd say it's kind of a decent sentiment there. It's a little bit kind of anecdotal. I mean, there are many factors to why people could eat or not eat, and I think maybe what you're getting at there, well, it's probably just being generally distracted. Like, you could be bored and not have to eat. I don't know. Yeah, no, there's sort of some truth to it. I would try and word that sentiment a bit more applicable, I guess. I'm 16 and I feel like people my age are drinking energy drinks all the time and have been for like 4 years already. I never got into energy drinks though, says H583. Well, that's good for you, and you know, unfortunately, if like people are drinking it over and over again at a young age, it's not a good habit to develop early on. Okay, so I think we're gonna go 5. No, is that 6? We're gonna go 6 at a time here. Feels like this is very high up and it may need to come down a little bit quicker. Also, I kind of wanted to... Where's my station again? Let's grab the camera count. I kind of have... Wait, am I going to put the station... I think I'm going to put the station here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Maybe you have it in a skyscraper. So, if we actually look at the height from over here... This thing is really too small to help all of you, but it's working for me. I might just get rid of it. Actually going in like a flat straight line and curving it over to the side might make more sense. Oh, I really have to think this one through. What's going to look best as well? Matt Spud says, I'll consider going vegan once I'm living on my own. You know, I've done the vegan thing. I wouldn't recommend going vegan. I think there are great reasons to choose to go vegan. Ethical, mainly. I would recommend... My dietary recommendation for, you know, average person is get your fruit in, eat a couple of pieces of fruit every day, make sure you're eating some good old vegetables every day, and you know, don't eat a crazy amount of meat, especially red meat and beef. You know, avoid those for several reasons. Supposed links to cancer and bad health for overeating them, but also it's the most detrimental to the planet and the global warming situation, right? Yeah, don't drink stuff like energy drinks. Get yourself some water and tea, and if you can drink water every day instead of drinking coffee and all that sort of stuff, just less stuff you're putting in. Mild78 says, I'm a carnivore, lol. I would look at the carnivore diet the same way I'd look at the vegan diet, which is that you can get a very big kick from changing your diet, whatever it is you're going from one to the other. It's a common thing that people feel really good when they shift diet, because you're bringing new things into your system. Your system's probably going to latch on to different types of like nutrients and things it can get its hands on that it needs. And you know, by doing one or the other, you could very easily deprive yourself from certain parts of like the broad spectrum of foods that we need to eat, especially carnivore. That's, you know, if meat's the only thing you're eating, that's kind of crazy. Like, you're going to be... That something I read today, actually, scientific. I was looking at a scientific website. I was just revising my my plan for eating, how much protein I'm taking in every day, making sure I'm getting it right, because I realised that on my phone it adjusts the amount of protein it wants me to eat based on how many calories I've eaten so far, and I realised, oh wait a minute, that's changing. So I went and re-evaluated what I was doing, making sure it's good on my phone, and I read that apparently it is dangerous to consume more than 35% protein of your total daily intake. If you're on a carnivore diet, you're probably getting, especially if you're eating lean meat, you're probably getting like 50%. So for whatever reason they have stated that is unhealthy, you could find yourself in that category. I don't know exactly. I didn't really read into why, because I didn't need to know. I'm a bit annoyed now. Where am I going to put my station? I feel like I've sort of lost track of what I was doing here. So I feel like going straight on and slightly to the right will look a bit wonky and weird. So I don't think we're going to go with that, unless we can plan it out to our advantage, right? Like, I could use it to have a couple of support beams if we knew where it was going to change and where the tracks are going to arrive. This is also too wide here as well, which is a bit... ugh. Hey X, change of pace, but do you have any brands of clothing / streetwear that you love? Says Matspad. Not at all, man. I really don't like branding of clothing, being like a walking billboard for some sort of corporate identity. I don't like that stuff at all. I also, most of the big brand names use sweatshops and whatnot. I generally, when I buy clothes, I buy unlabeled stuff, something that's not like buying into that whole like identity through brand thing. That just doesn't work for me. Are you sure Python is going to put the rail lines at that height? Says Goat Unicorn. Yeah, I talked to him about it today. I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but then I felt like this was the next logical step, because I didn't want to get too far into what we're doing over there. Again, I'm looking at the camera count, by the way, and I just cannot make up my mind here about what is the best way to go or where to bring this thing. Maybe what we'll do is we could bring it into somewhere around here, have a little mini building, or have like an open platform rather than a traditional station. Yeah, I really think it'd be easy to get going into that one there a bit wrong. That's, yeah. Or maybe this space. Actually, yeah, that feels like a better thing to aim for. Maybe have a... Right, yeah, let's... Okay. This space here is actually quite big. I'm going to start off by bringing the height down a bit. Let's also put that camera count now actually kind of a bit more useful looking for all of you. There you go. Where am I? Goodness me. Where am I? How did I get in here? Like in a hole and I can't see the way out. Amazing. Hey X, do you watch Game of Thrones at all? Says Mickey's Gun. Yeah, I do. I do. Looking forward to the next season, which is starting very, very soon. Most foods can be healthy, so depending on how you prepare it, says Double Moses. Pop-Tarts? Yeah, going back to dietary recommendations, what I recommend is like trying to get more food from the fresh produce aisle into your diet and get less of that processed, packaged stuff like microwave meals and things in boxes. That's my general kind of rule of thumb there. We got a noise in the ear from Heavy Metal Miner here, doing a donation saying thank you for all the years of entertaining content. Keep up the good work. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate your support, and I like the username. But yes, thank you again for the donation. I appreciate that. We also got Gareth here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Gareth, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Sigrun says, how to lose weight, fat or weight, guys. I need to diet. Haha. You know, like, a lot of that advice is probably better if it's personalised, but in general, just you know, get in regular exercise, get off the junk food, watch what you're eating, and I would recommend using an app. But I was listening to a podcast today where they were saying that they don't have very good results with normal people using apps to track their calories. They say that it's people that are really invested in it that generally get good use out of using an app to track calories and stuff like that. So, you know, I've just found it worked for me recently. It was like the next logical step was to really get on top of understanding what I'm eating. And maybe if I go back to where I begun my journey, it might have not have been that great of an idea as a strategy. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to give like a bit more advice based on what I know. I'm not a professional. I wouldn't advise anything extreme. In fact, one thing I would advise is not buying into extreme diets like veganism, like carnivore. What's the other one? Keto is linked to a lot of, I think, can't remember, linked to diabetes or something to do with developing some sort of degenerative disease in your body if you do it for a long period of time. I just keep going back to the eat more stuff just based off of plants and, you know, have a good balanced diet. Diet is a bad word. You need a healthy lifestyle, says Crom the Pale. The problem with the word diet is that people treat it like it's something you're going to go on for a while. Diet should be permanent. You should see it as like, diet is a way to describe what you generally eat. Because that's what the word is supposed to mean. Once a week health podcast. I would listen to every minute, says Average Martin. Well, they're out there. They're out there. You can go listen to them. The problem is it takes a while to find the good stuff, right? Like, yeah, it's hard to sort of get, but over time, if you take the time to listen to lots of different podcasts and look for information and whatnot, like, it does start to make sense what's the good advice and not. At least that's my experience of it. Lots of running. Get on a treadmill and watch your streams while you run, says Trongo. Yeah, I would recommend that. Running is great. There's lots of great information online on how to run properly. Which, you know, when you're starting out, if someone's encouraged and motivated to go for a run, put on your sneakers and that's good. But when you get into it a little bit, it's always important to start learning proper technique, investing in like running trainers and whatnot. I haven't gone for a run for a while because of my shoulder, but I can't wait to get back into that. It's also getting towards summer, and I love summer for running because I go running at night. So the sun's setting, but it's warm and the cold night air comes in, and it's like this perfect running time. The only problem with it is that it's at the end of the day, and that's when, you know, after a run you're just going to be shattered. But I think I'm going to mess around with it and play around with it a little bit this time and adjust what I'm eating before I go for a run, and maybe like move my eating window up through the day, and so I have more energy in the evening for like a good long run. Right, anyway, I'm looking for something while I'm waffling. That's a lot of what this stream is about, right? X Waffles Minecraft. It's my new channel. Jihin says, how's it going today? It's going good, thanks for asking. It's bad to run at night because of the pollution in the cities, says Wolfburner. Well, a little bit of news for you. The pollution will be there all day long and night. Like, any time to run in the city is probably a bad time if you're looking at it from that angle. I don't know of any... I've never heard of anything like time of day being bad for running. Not heard of anything like that ever. Jab Channel says, I'm on the Plot World server with your stream on in the background. It's like a podcast. Cool, Jab Channel. Thanks for playing on there. I was on there myself earlier today. Same, I always jog in the summer. Last year I jogged 10 kilometers and I'm 13. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, if you enjoy it and you do it at a young age, and you know, because I wish when I was 13 I'd have jogged for 10 kilometers, because you can build up you know, your health when you're young. You can get really good at doing stuff, right? Okay, let's say we do a different kind of design here. I'm going to use this as a placeholder. No, just use the red one because I need the white one for the line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have the share ball approach here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one becomes a pillar. Put one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be the corner, or we might go for one more section. I think going for one more section makes the most sense. It goes a little bit close to that one then. Let's have a look from the camera account. Yeah, 2 is going to be way too small, so we definitely need to go for one more. I think what we'll need to do is optimize the amount of space and have this thing come right out to the corner. Now, I'm going to go and grab some wood rather than do this with the red concrete, so that's our next thing to do. Sab says, were you involved in setting up the Hermitcraft free server the various hermits used for April Fool's video, or did you just download the world and do it in single player? We actually set up a server for that. Yeah, we set up a server for it. There you go. Is it decided what this area X is building in right now is called? Yes, it's called Tower Bay. It should say in the title of the video. Stream even. Okay, so wood. Wood was the material. So we have done a cha-cha in several places. Then we've done dark oak. Yeah, so we're probably going to stick to doing logs and not stripping them for now. And I want something that sticks out a bit. I think birch could be a bit awful, basically. Let me open this, because it has all of them in at once. Because I felt like I missed something. Oak, maybe. I haven't done oak. It's the plainest of all of them, that's for sure. But I haven't done it yet. So we'll go with oak. And we'll grab some oak saplings. We'll plant them down. And we will grow trees, and we will chop those trees. Oh, yes, we will. Oh, we're going to chop those trees. Spanky Quest says, anyone else's Twitch launcher sometimes messes up and forget it has mod packs installed? One of the hermits was talking about that the other day, so apparently yes, that does happen, based on the hermits. Father Apocalypse says, X, when you have the Hermitcraft meetings, are you all logged on the Hermitcraft server, or you just talk about a face? Oh, no, we all get into a face cam call with Efo. He runs the meetings, and we all see each other's faces, you know. Is there a bumbo on the skyscraper I'm building on the Plot World server? Oh, there is, right, okay. Good for you. Darth Ninja says, was it me or did X just get a high off deforestation? If you want to call it a high, then sure. How do you feel about music towards the 70s, says Bedsty. There's some interesting stuff in the 70s. For me, my heart is in the 90s. So many different sub-genres that I love, sounds that I adore, and my favourite periods are certain sounds of music. So much of it just wrapped into the 90s. Like, it's kind of crazy how much. So often do I find something that really vibes with me, and it's from the 90s. You know, I'd even point to a year like 1994 as having or 93, 94, sort of having way too many of my favourite records sort of rammed into a small space of time. But then when it comes to the 80s, not quite as passionate, but there's a lot of stuff I enjoy from the 80s. 80s has obviously a lot of precursors for that 90s sound as well, so there's a lot of lineage. You go further back to the 70s, little less again in general that I like, but stuff like prog metal from the 70s, really like that. Some of the early heavy metal is kind of alright from the 70s. Obviously Black Sabbath is incredible, and Judas Priest. But yeah, like going back and back, like there's generally just less and less that I've discovered or gotten into. So yeah, one bit of music that I'm like starting to come around to a bit more is the 60s. Like I listened to some Janis Joplin, and been listening to a bit of Jimi Hendrix and a few others just from that era that I kind of dismissed when I was younger, and now kind of finding my way into it a bit, starting to like feel the vibe, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to think of the other one that I've been listening to. I think it's like Simon and Garfunkel, is it? Iron Maiden from the 70s, Spanky Quest, yep. Mickey's Gun says Hybrid Theory is my favourite album of all time. Late 90s, right? Well, late 90s sound, but yeah, came out in 2000. The Doors says Vogerist. I really love that song, The End, but I never got into them too much beyond that. I listened to that record it's on a fair bit some time ago. Didn't I like just dump off All the Grass a moment ago, and now I need it again? This was a classic story of me playing this game. Put stuff in chest that don't think I need, then come back and get it again because I do need it. Over and over again. Repeat. Rammstein, says Mary J. Carney. Yeah, Rammstein are a great band. If you like Rammstein, be sure to go check out Ministry that came before them. Like, you will hear where Rammstein got their sound from. Like, not in a copycat way, just like in a natural evolution way. I saw Iron Maiden in late 90s, early 2000s, and they still rocked it, says Steph. Steph, I've seen Iron Maiden in the 2010s, and they still absolutely kick ass. Like, Iron Maiden are like a pretty incredible live band still to this day. Maybe, you know, maybe not quite as amazing as they once were or whatever, but they put on a great show, great live show. So we're going to have like this little bit here. I actually think that's a fair distance. We're going to be able to make that work. Is there something in chat? Ah! maybe Skull. No, Skull will probably go silent as well. Yellow Harold says, I'm pretty sure you saw him at Download 2016. I may or may not have. It depends who was playing on the little stages. Like, once you've seen Iron Maiden 4 or 5 times, like, because I love Iron Maiden, great band, but they're not like one of my super duper favourites. You know, once I've seen some of the big bands quite a few times, I tend to go watch something on the smaller stages. Like Napalm Death headlined one of the small stages once. That was awesome. Matt Spud says, hey X, are you a fan of A Tribe Called Quest? Of course I am. Hey, Scar's here! He's here. This is Let's Show Scar. Oh, he probably went away already. Oh no, there he is. Yeah, I also wanted to put them here. Jump over that, because it's kind of next to one of their other builds, so I felt like that kind of gave it some lineage there, you know. Hey X, I ordered Minecraft 3D in 1994. It's been 25 years and I still haven't got the CD-ROM. Brilliant. That's because it was on floppy disks. Look, a fellow miner and crafter, says Double Moses. I like the reference. That's good. That's a good reference. Please move the camera count, says Nate. I think we'll get rid of it now. I think the camera count has run its course. I'll do this properly. I'll get rid of the source. Temp. Be gone. Delete thy source. Where's the delete thing? Remove. It's called remove. Yes. Noise in my ear. I do want to remove it. And we also got a donation here as well. I can see it popping up on my screen. Right. Camera account be gone. Back to the normal account. We got a noise in here from Jolas here with a donation saying, a big thanks for all you've done for me. Greets from Switzerland. Jolas, I hope I'm saying your name right. I appreciate your support ever so much. Thank you for that donation. And I'm glad to have been of help in any way. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hey X, what's your favourite era for R&B? Says Matt's Pud. Depends what R&B you're talking about, right? Because The Who used to be R&B. And then it got kind of like overtaken by the sort of, I don't know what you call it, the other R&B, right? The urban R&B. We got another noise in here from Dude Sears here. Subscribe with Amazon Prime, Dude Sears. Thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. Now around here, what I'm going to put in the logs, but they're probably pretty much going to get buried at this point. So I think I might start getting a little bit cheeky with where I'm placing them for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we're going to have that there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Next one is 3. It's getting pretty high around here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, I think, is... Oh, it's going to be too close. Oh, that does not look good, does it? Have I got that wrong? Oh, it's going to go way too close to that for my liking. Right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like we hit a bit of a brick wall here if this don't work out. 1, 2, 3, 5. Might not be the one. It's a little bit too close. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now I need that camera account again. I'm not sure I want to put it there now. No Pada69 is here, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much. No Pada69, appreciate that. Thank you for using the Prime on me. I like to music, says Billboy the Cool. Go check out Orang. Google Orang Bandcamp. And Bickle Stickle says, "Are you a charity? If so, I get a tax advantage." I am not. I am not a charity. That's the thing. Like the community, the stream culture calls them donations. They are 100% not. They're literally not. Legally, tax wise, and all that. So I reckon we could actually make this thing with that layout. So if we were to do that, let's again rebuild. I mean, what you're seeing right here is a lot of off-camera type stuff. I know it may not be terribly interesting, but hey, this is what I have to do sometimes. Just gotta, figure it out. And keep placing blocks over and over again. Gabrielson says, "What's up, sup everyone? Sup yourself? How's it going? Right now, I'm really into Def Grips. Any songs like Hothead you'd recommend?" Says Matt's Pud. Ooh, I love Keep Giving Bad People Good Ideas. I like Warping, Hustle Bones. Oh god, I love everything they do. Like, well, not everything, but I really, really adore their music. That's some workout music right there. If you need to get hyped, like, you need to go for a run, need to lift some weights, put on some Def Grips, man. That'll get you in the zone. That'll get you in the headspace. I mean, I'd recommend just listen to everything they've done. Black Paint, oh, amazing song. Oh, I hope they bring out another record this year. Like, that's always just exciting when they drop something. Oh, what am I going for here? Am I going for 2? That's what we did up there. Yep. So it's now going to be a little bit smaller. That's not where it goes. It goes Noided Asuma, says Attica. Yeah, noided. What's your opinion on the band Rush, says Fanny Dubious. I really like the song Closer to the Heart, and is that Rush? And I've got the record A Farewell to Kings. Got that when I was a kid. Really liked it. But not much beyond that, really. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to go over here now. And then it's going to go... That's alright. What about Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone X? What is Kenny Loggins' Danger? I'm going to look that up after this. Oh, Scar is watching, probably. Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. I'm going to look that up after the stream. Matt Spud says, I stay noided. Brilliant. Some people in chat seem to know what the Danger Zone is. Ah, it's the Top Gun soundtrack. Gotcha. Boyrus says, I like Closer to the Heart. Is that Rush? Just about sums up my familiarity with Rush as well. There you go. What's your favourite first album you ever bought? Well, wait, favourite or first? First album was probably like a Michael Jackson one, but I can't really remember. Favourite album is Dimmu Borgir, Spiritual Black Dimensions. Like I have listened to that album and worshipped it relentlessly. But I must say, as I've gotten older, it's not that it's like aged poorly or anything. I just think like sometimes I think it's like when you're young, you've got all this passion, you've got all this energy. It's like that was also a place to put my passion and energy, right? I wouldn't really try and convince anyone it's the best record ever. It's just the best record that I ever heard. But like I had a lot of energy to put into it, if that makes sense. But oh god, I've listened to that. Like me and my friends, we used to listen to that record so much, and we even had like a listening party. This is so music nerdy. For when it hit 100 on my computer, like the album counted every time you listened to it, and when it got near to 100, which don't even count listening to it on the go or listening to it at parties and stuff, like when it got to 100, there was like a listening session for the 100th listen. Oh, that is so amazing. Have you heard Rammstein's new single, says Mary Carey? I have. You know, it was just kind of exactly what I thought they would do. Just another Rammstein-y sounding song. Not massively impressed. So if we've got a path coming into this has got to then be a junction to one of these other paths and kind of hook up wherever the paths go next. I don't know entirely how I'm going to throw all this together, but I'm going to do something. I think we're going to have to settle with this, otherwise I'm going to spend too much time umming and ahhing about where to put this thing, right? And what we need to start doing now is calculating how the line is going to get over here. Now I think it's going to come in around this space. Where's like an entrance and an exit here? Where am I seeing one? Kind of looks like maybe this corner is all kind of open. So you can walk through into this room in this space. Maybe there's like stairs, but there's going to need to be a station. So we need an entrance, we need stairs to meet this height, and then we need the rails to come in. So I think what we're going to do is bring the rails in over on the opposite corner and have them quite high up. So let's say we build up this wall a bit. We can put them in place. Def Grip 3K says, Def Grips, I heard my name. What? Awesome. Do you like In Sorte Diablo by Dimmu Borgir, says Fredich95. I love that record, it's great. It's got some amazing lyrics and sung bits on it, and really good record, but it was kind of like Death Cult Armageddon was when that came out. It was just like, oh my god, Dimmu are on fire. And then when it was In Sorte Diablo, it was kind of like, it felt like it was a shade down from what they'd done before. And then I'd never really felt that they recovered from that record. Like, and that's fine, you know, like bands grow, transition or whatever. But when I saw them live recently, like quite a few months ago now, it really kind of confirmed for me that they, you know, they're well and truly past their day, if you want to call it something like that. What do you think of Ghost, says Savage? Most exciting metal band of recent memory, I would say. They are something special. Right, now I think what we'll do is we'll have a support beam. Doesn't quite line up with that, but we'll put a support beam here. By the way, this is all, the blocks are going to change and stuff, right? We're just doing the planning stage. So that's the way we bring the line into this area. It doesn't actually really need to have too many blocks over here. We'll build a little station setup in here for the end of the line. And now we've got to get it from up there to down here. And that is some weirdness. We could go for a straight on, left, up, down, right. But I think it'd be fun to try and do the old thing together. Good Times to Scar says, old school time. Frank Sinatra. You know, I've never given Frank a proper try. and I have occasionally heard some of his stuff that I've dug, and then I've also listened to him on occasion and not been too into it. He's probably one I should, like, just, you know, Scar, tell me what the record I should listen to is, you know? Come fly with me, X. Where's Scar going to take us? What are we doing? I'm spreading the news, I'm leaving to that. Wait, are they doing, like, Frank Sinatra lyrics or something? Chaser Yomo is here, resubscribed for 2 months, saying, hey X, got another month locked in. Thank you ever so much for another month's support. I appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Also, MC Fex for 20 months in a row. I missed you 5 minutes ago there. Thank you so much for your support. I think they're singing Frank Sinatra to each other. Yeah, Frank's probably one I should check out at some point, right? There's just so many artists out there. I truly believe in, like, trying to get into stuff, trying to find what's amazing about it, not sticking your nose up at anything, which is what I used to do. You know, you mentioned some old artists. Tell you one that I got into, absolute 10 out of 10 record, Dusty Springfield's is it Dusty in Memphis record is absolutely incredible. I can't get over how good that record is. And I would have so turned my nose up at something like that, some old-timer singer years ago. But, like, I just want to find out what these things are about. I want to get into it. And I got into that record, and it's definitely one of my all-time favourites. There's just so much emotion wrapped up in it. It's brilliant. So we're going to have to do some awful calculations here. I'm going to have to take notes at this point. Let's get up on top of here and kind of calculate some coordinates and see what we can do with some math. What was the name of that record? I missed it, says Josu Questing. It is Dusty Springfield, Dusty in Memphis. I hope I'm getting that right, because I think she's got quite a few records that are like Dusty in, Dusty this, and I hope I haven't gotten the wrong one. But I've never really gotten into anything else of hers, and I think it's like she is a sort of propped up artist who has other people write songs with her and whatnot, and sort of into that record industry machine. But she has this moment where I think she's going to get dropped, if I remember the story correctly, or like she needs to actually get a hit basically, and instead of going for just a cheap hit, like writes like a record from the soul, so to speak, and like just an incredible set of songs right there. Skinny Puppy, says Frederick95. Yeah, I listen to Skinny Puppy. Have done even in the past. Actually, am I getting confused now? There's so many Puppy bands. There's Puppy, who are incredible. Then there's Skinny Puppy, who I think are the industrial one. And then there's Snarky Puppy, who are the like jazz prog band. God, so many puppies. And then there's that other one, Pup. Hide on La Soul is here, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for your Prime subscription. Baron says, what are your thoughts on these more modern subgenres like metalcore and deathcore? I really like metalcore. Caliban are a lesser known metalcore bands that I really like. They have a song called The Arena, I think, it's just absolutely booming. Booming metalcore. As for deathcore, I saw that stuff happen, man. That was when me and all my friends were getting into gigs. We saw all the bands coming over from the States. We went to all of like the shows over here. I saw Bring Me Horizon play their first show at Download Festival, and just saw loads of legendary stuff. That was a crazy fun time. Right, I need to get my notes out. Where are my notes? Okay. Right, where am I standing right now? We're going to call this a starting point. Okay, so I'm going to write down these coordinates. Actually, I'm going to do it by looking at the block. Okay, because then it gives you solid numbers to work with, and you don't have to do any extra math. So we are at minus 138, 82, minus 430, and we're going to then stay on the right-hand side and go over to that point there. Oh, jeez! You're telling me from up there I can't even fly down here? My light train, bro. Oh, jeez. Oh. Okay, right, I'm going to stop making weird noises. Right, let's try and land. I said I'd stop with the weird noises. Okay, there we go. So then we're going to go and look at parallel. So this side over here. This block will be where it starts. So I'm going to put those numbers down. We've got minus 174, 69, and minus 542. Alright, so we just got some crazy noises in the here. What are these crazy noises? Computer, please tell me. We got Nastavar subscribing with Amazon Prime. Nastavar, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. I appreciate that. Hope you are enjoying the stream. We got Hide on Lusol subscribing with that's the previous one. I'm reading the wrong way. Oh, I'm getting tired. Chaser, your homie has gifted a sub. It reads like your homie. Like I'm your homie. To Night Reaper 1989. Thank you for gifting the sub. Very kind of you to do that. Also, Night Reaper 89 is here with a donation saying, so I get back to my computer having just made my first ever successful bowl of not instant ramen. Fire up Minecraft and open YouTube to find out extra streaming. My evening is made. Awesome, dude. I need to eat ramen. I always hear about it, like in movies. Like they always talk about, oh, instant ramen got me through college or something like that. It's like an American thing you hear people talking about. And I need to check that out. I don't think I've ever eaten ramen. Don't even know what it is, but I hear about it. Also, Chaser, your homie here, is gifting a sub to Bill Bodkin. Thank you again for supporting the community and gifting subs. I appreciate you doing that. Hope you are enjoying the stream. Matt Spud says, what's your favourite Outkast album? I'm going to say Is it Aquarium? That can't be right. Aquarius? What is it called again? That one. It's got to be. It's got to be that one for me. But it's so hard to pick. So hard to pick. What an incredible duo right there. Okay, now I've got these numbers. What we're going to do is compare them. So we need to make 3 sets of numbers. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy difficult to get something organic. So we need to... I'm going to use the calculator to make sure I don't goof. 82 minus 69. So this thing is going to step down 13 steps down. It's going to step down 13 times, jeez. You can tell I'm struggling to talk. Okay, then if we go in this direction, it is the 3rd coordinate, so it needs to go forwards a bunch of times. Okay, so 174 take away. Wait, the forward thing is actually irrelevant, isn't it? Oh, I think maybe we don't need to mess with this. Right. If you're coming from here to here, and you're a bunch of blocks, you go downwards and you go to the side every so often. Yeah, so the forward one is actually the irrelevant one. Okay, I had a feeling there might be an irrelevant number. So the other number we want to mess with is 550. Oh, I've done it all wrong. 452 take away 430. Is there a squid on land dying over there? There is. 22 is the other one. Oh, that is rotten. So we've got to make 22 side steps and 13 steps downwards. Ah, but then we would use the distance to calculate how often. This is where it's going to be really weird. Okay, so 174 take away 138 gives us the number 36. That's our base number. So 36 and 13, 36 divided by 13. This is a nightmare. Is 2.7. I think I'm going to abandon this idea. Let's check out the other number though. 36 divided by 22. Oh, it's so not going to work. Such a bad idea. It's almost diagonal. So I don't think we can do like an organic diagonal thing. It'll probably look amazing. Terrible as well. Okay, so 13 steps upwards is the key thing then. So if we go like across, then that way, then this way, it will be across 13 steps. So I still need to use these numbers, peeps. So if I add 36 and 22 together, RIP Organic says Poppin' Rose. I mean, I think I could do it if I was like in creative mode first. Like if I was on the plot worlds, put them in the same positions from one another, create like a shape. I could give it a try, maybe. Maybe I could give it a try. I mean, it would be something unique, but I don't know if it would look very good. So anyway, 36 is one of the distances we have to travel, plus 22 being the other, gives us 58. So if we divide that by 13, it means that we need to, every 4.5 blocks, change. Which again is also a little bit awkward, so... Well, we've certainly got some food for thought here together, and some good progress in this area for me to move forward with. Rampit, says old man Jeb. I think I might give a go to the old organic thing and see what I can do there. But it's going to be tricky to figure out. It will be very tricky. My friends, this is where I'm going to wrap up today's live stream. I do hope you've enjoyed it and had a good time hanging out with me. We've done some reasonable amount of work in this area, I think. Laid down some plans and all of that. Lizzie Bess, as always, love your streams. You're too kind, Lizzie. Thank you. So, I want to say, first of all, if you want to stick around and be a part of the raid, I need y'all to participate. Okay, this is perfect timing. Before you go, don't go anywhere. I want to test something. I'm going to start the raid before I end the stream, and if you are listening and you can come to the computer and join the raid, that would be great, because I've noticed the raid number is always like half of how many people are watching, so I thought it'd be interesting to see what happened if I encouraged you all to come back to the computer and participate in the raid and see if it'd be closer to the viewer count. We're also raiding Autism Father, who is the owner of Outkast and is doing their 5-year anniversary, which is absolutely incredible. So great opportunity to raid for a good cause, I guess. So that's where I'm going to send you. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Thanks to all the people for watching, for chatting, for donating, throwing bits and cheers, for subscribing. Thank you to all of my patrons. I will see you soon. If you're still listening, come and click that raid button in the Twitch chat. Okay, right, I'm doing it now, and then I'm ending the stream, and then we're going to go and raid Autism Father. Thank you for watching, peeps. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.